Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna paint a winter landscape. This is for one of my acrylic painting classes that I plan to have by the end of the year because I'm now starting a new course. So I just thought I'll get some people together for sip and paint sort of situation. Alright. So because I'm planning this for a big group, generally I'd be painting just with golden open paints, but since I'll be giving it to basically beginners, you know, beginners use a lot of more paint. So I'm not gonna get the crappy, you know, student paint because it's just not worth it. It's just a waste of energy in my mind. So I'm gonna be using this beautiful Nova color. It comes in these big tubs. Well, it can come in smaller tubs too. But it's very good quality and very good price for the quality of paint. So they are professional acrylic paints. So considering that, the price is very good. I'm just gonna turn the camera like that so that you can see what I'll be mixing my colors here. I didn't post a reference photo because I'm not using a photograph. I found some really cool vintage, I'm not sure if they're paintings. They look like antique vintage paintings, but there's no name attributed to them and they all kind of look the same. I really love the vibe of them, so I'll be getting inspiration from that. Now I won't be copying exactly the painting, but they look pretty easy. Now I don't know if they're really gonna be easy because sometimes I gauge these things a little not very well. So anyway, I'm just aiming for a kind of Bob Ross vibe. Hopefully it'll look like that. So look at this beautiful paint. So they're very pigmented. I have a little bit of white in here. I think I'll have to get it out with a paintbrush because when it gets really to the bottom of the tub, there's no clean way, no easy way to get it out with a knife. But the reason why I'm using, I'll just be using the white and the black golden open because they lend their slow drying properties to all the other paints. So I still want this to be a little bit slow drying in a way because they allow you to mix the paints a lot better. They just blend and you can make very nice gradients with it. But I don't want to just do the golden open paints. It'll cost too much. And I want to keep the prices affordable for people, especially for beginners. Like, you know, I want the experience to be nice, but I don't want to make it too expensive or not affordable. And I don't want to be losing money, you know, like, you know what I mean. All right, let's clean this knife. Nice glob of white. I'm not sure that that'll be enough. Probably not, because I think we'll be using quite a lot of white. So I'll put black on the other side. I don't think we'll use that much black. This black is very strong, very potent. So there's black. I'm gonna grab some of this Phthalo Blue Deep. It is a green shade. I tend to prefer green shades of blue versus the red shades of blue generally, but sometimes, you know, it depends. Alright, just a little bit of blue. Phthalo Blue is super strong. Super strong. Although this is Nova color, I'm not sure how far this will go, but I think that'll be enough. When I went to the sip and paint class I went to a sip and paint class a couple of weeks ago, and they probably gave us economy paints, you know, like student grade paints. They weren't super duper, they were just as you would expect student paints to be. And I was kind of economical, and I used them, you know, like nicely. I think I used them just properly. Other people, especially beginners, I saw them just using way too much paint because they put too much paint on, then it dried, and anyway, I think beginners just use more paints in general. And let me put a little bit of raw sienna. I'll just put all the paints on my palette to start with, and then let's put some of this raw sienna because it has some yellowish tones. And then I also have some burnt sienna. As time progresses, I am finding myself being a lot more careful about keeping the containers clean and the jar lids and stuff. I'm not as clean as I could be, but still cleaner than I was. Thankfully, these jars are a lot better. These kind of tubs, the plastic is a lot better than some other paints that I've used in the past. The chroma mural paints. Tea. All right. So let me mix some paints. Got this really nice palette knives. They're new. They're very cute too. They're very cute. This the set. I don't remember what it's called, but it has colorful handles and black blades. They should be non-stick or something. We'll see how long they last. They're super cute, and hopefully I'll learn how to use palette knives. All right, let's get some white. I'm gonna make a nice light blue over here. There you can see. There we go. You see how vibrant this blue is? I don't need to add so much blue. I want this scene to be quite faded and gray, kind of like a vintage photograph. Get some more white and just mix it aside, because if I have a color that is too bright and I want to lighten it, it's gonna take a lot of white to lighten that color. So what I'll do is just get some white and add some of that color to the white, so that I don't have to use too much white to lighten that particular color. I'm just adding a little bit of black to mute it a little bit. I want everything to be kind of muted and not bright. Not very bright. Just like me. Alright. Nice bluish gray here. Okay. Maybe add a little bit more blue. Okay. Let me mix the yellowish part. Just a little bit of the sienna. Ooh, so did you see that? Did you see the tiniest little bit of sienna I added, and look how colorful it is. And I'm telling you, once you try good quality paints, you just cannot look at cheap paints the same. Just not worth it. Not worth it. It's gonna be a nice warm kind of winter day. And then let's do, I'm not even cleaning my knife. I want to do kind of a grayish background, far away trees sort of situation. Let's just put everything in here. Put a little bit of blue, a little bit of black, a little bit of this burnt sienna. Let's see what color we get here. Maybe a little bit more burnt sienna. I'm seeing a very vague sort of purplish color. I wonder if I do sienna and blue, it'll make it slightly purple. The sienna is basically red. Brown, rather brown. If not, I can add a little bit of golden open alizarin crimson. Alizarin. See what happens to some of these golden open paints? It's a little tragic. Okay, just a little bit. Then it's impossible to close it back up. Let me put a little bit of crimson in here. Now that's gonna make it a little bit purplish. Let's put a little bit blue. I didn't mean to have these colors mixed before, but I just ran out of time. Alizarin crimson is quite a transparent color, so it's not as strong as phthalo blue, for example. Okay, it's a pretty nice grayish purple. It's very similar to the gray underneath, actually. Maybe put just a touch of blue. All right. Let's start with that. And I want to kill the overhead light. We'll see if the painting starts getting shiny. Oops. Let's see. Good. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna get I used oil paints with this one. It's a little stiff. Let's use this nice. It's still a little bit stiff, but let's condition it by dipping in this paint here. And very, very important. I can't really be flexing while I paint this. So I can't be showing off my painting prowess. I want to make it available for beginners to paint too. So it's gotta be easy. Just nice crisscrosses. Getting a little bit darker towards the edges, maybe a little bit bluer too. Sorry if the noise is too loud here. Just darkening this paint a little bit, adding more black and blue towards the corners. A little bit of water, a little bit more paint. Just blending everything out. Let's grab just a little bit of white. Getting a little bit of white to go and put right underneath this top paint, because then we're gonna go get in with a yellow. So I just want to avoid making green. All right, just cleaning the brush. And let's just dip into this yellow color, and just put it underneath. Loading that. Loading the brush quite well. Just pushing it upwards in towards that blue. I really should have mixed more paint. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit asymmetrical. I love this color combo, the blue and the yellow. Really makes the sky glow. I should have mixed more paint. Here we go. Ah, Lorianne. Hey, Lorianne, thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Belgium. Thank you for the kind words. I assume you do art too? If so, I would love to see it. Okay, and then let's just a little bit more sienna and white here, raw sienna. And let's just do a little bit of water. If you have an Instagram, put it in. I'll check you out. I'm cleaning the brush. Let me get a little bit of white. Let's put it underneath. That. And then let's go with some of the blue. I didn't even clean my brush. I'm just gonna get a little bit more black and a little bit more blue. I want to darken it because as we come forward, that water will be quite dark. More black. Yeah, let's see if we can make a nice blend here. That white should still be quite wet because it's the golden open white. It's okay if it's leaving streaks, because there's different things reflecting from the sky. This here so I don't have to keep reaching over. That way you can get that water jar ASMR. I don't know, I really like it. I like the clink of the water and the paintbrush. And there I got a little bit more white paint and I'm just doing a smoothless no, a smooth seamless blend here with the yellow and the white. There we go. All right, we have a nice background now. Just the same old big brush. And let's go and so all that paint that I mixed here with the burnt sienna and the alizarin crimson and the blue and the black and the white just made a dark gray. So let's just come. I want a little bit more color in there. I want a little bit of burnt sienna and alizarin crimson in there. Yeah, I just want to make some distant brushes, distant bushes, distant trees and stuff. So I'm just going here at the edge of the sky and just leaving some marks here. I want some to kind of blend in with the sky. They're very distant, very moody, and if they blend in with the sky, it'll make them just misty and dreamy. There, I like that. Mixing more that burnt sienna and alizarin crimson. Just kind of crisscross strokes. and then lift them up. It's really nice that they blend in with the sky. Really makes it look really nice. The beauty of golden open paints. Even when I try different paints, I just keep going over to the golden open. They're like ambrosia from the gods. Alright, let's start making it a little bit darker towards the bottom. So this time I'm just blending in with that upper with that upper layer of the canopy of this. Maybe even adding a touch of blue. A touch of blue towards the bottom. And maybe a little bit of black. I really hope I'm not gonna make this too complicated for the people. There we go, kind of even, because then we're having a lake. All right, cleaning off the brush. The sky is awfully blue. I kind of wanted to make it a little bit darker. That's all right. It's colorful. People like colorful, right? All right, let's get some white, just pure white. And we're just gonna go across here. Gonna make a nice, maybe this can act as distant fog, you know, in the background. Basically lightening up the bottom a little bit. As a buffer between this and the incoming snow. Because the next layer will be white. Okay, just white. Putting that white on. And it's gonna mix a little bit. Making a bank, and then I'm gonna make the other edge that defines it. Just white. It's okay if it mixes with the underneath color, because that's gonna just give us some nice shadows. Snow is seldomly just white. It always has, it often has a lot of nice shadows in there. Okay, maybe we can, ooh, my hand's getting numb. Let's get some smaller brushes. Now maybe it's time for smaller brushes. Want to see what I'm keeping my brushes in? In a neti pot. You know what that is. Alright, let's do a dark color. So I'm just using that gray that I have, getting some raw sienna and some white, making a kind of khaki color, I guess. Enough gray color for some banks back here. Maybe I can get some burnt sienna too, and just a touch of black. And then getting some more black and burnt sienna. I want this to be kind of like a dark brown. The closer we get closer to get to us, the darker the shadows are. And then maybe I can have a little bank down here. There we go. I want to kind of blend this a little bit with the white, make it a little more soft. Just go and get the edge of where the white and the dark meets. And here I'm darkening this a little bit. And I'm going with the grain, I'm going with the, what's it called? With the direction of the bank. Okay, now let's see. do here. Let's grab, I need some more white. Yeah, white is definitely the dominant color in this painting. Okay, let's just do this bank here. And we're gonna grab some of that grayish blue to add some. It's still very vibrant. Add some shadows. Let's add just a touch of black. Mute it down a little bit. It's too bright. Maybe we can add some of that here too. There we go. Okay, let us having some fun. Let's have some fun. Maybe I'll use this brush. Yes, an angular brush. Let's grab, I'll show you my mixture. Let's grab some of this burnt sienna. We can just make it right here in this dark pile. Maybe some alizarin crimson. And let's just mix it. We're going for a dark color, a dark-ish brown. We still want it to have a little bit of color in there. And we want it to be quite dark. Now, we all know that it's bad form to mix with your brush. Now, what can you do? What can you do? And let's just go right up here and just drop it right in. Bob Ross style, eh? And we'll give it a friend, because no tree wants to live by itself. And 3 is company. Maybe it's just a whole clump of these right in here. All right, let's give them some nice feet. Very important. Hey, Clara! Welcome. Oh, very important when you're trying to do thin. Maybe I should use a liner. No, just using an angle shader. We can do it. are you doing, Clara? Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. I'm trying to make a really easy, simple one that I can teach at the studio. Because I gotta say, my past classes, well, the truth is I did want to appeal more to my older students too, that I want them to learn more things and be more challenged. So I've been making more difficult, paintings there. Not only experienced people sign up, some beginners sign up too, because I can't turn them away. Okay, what are you doing? What are you up to? What's on the plan for today? Oh. Do you have a protocol when you get cold? I think I've said it before on this channel, but I always load up on D and C. Like when I say load up on D, I do like a shock dose of 50,000 for 3 days. And that generally seems to really thwart any sort of serious thing. Or at the very least, it doesn't hit as hard or last as long. That's good. Resting is good. Darkening these a little bit. DMC? Oh, vitamin D and vitamin C. I load up on D and C, but vitamin D 50,000 milligrams a day for 3 days. And then vitamin C, I recently read that the best protocol for vitamin C is to take 2,000 units. I think it's 3 times a day. Sudafed. Sudafed it's very useful to help with congestion, but unfortunately, it doesn't support the immune system, or it doesn't help you get better. Aside from clearing up your, system, your sinuses, and allowing them to get better faster. But aside from that, it doesn't really help you, help your body. But vitamin D and vitamin C, I'm telling you, are a miracle worker. And then zinc too. I also take zinc. There are like combos. That you can take these together. You're the natural path. Just deals with the symptoms. I don't even know how many oranges you'd have to eat to get 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Probably a lot. Parsley has a lot of vitamin C. And you know, not only for colds, for any kind of infections, vitamin D is amazing. Just softening this edge here. One clementine has 36 milligrams. So you would have to eat like a lot of clementines. 10 clementines would have 360. To hit 2,000, you would need about 60 clementines. More than that. And you'd probably hit, you know, the sugar limit for like 3 days. All right, let's see. Let's do this. One little bit darker. Okay. Let's do some big bold trees. Maybe I'll use the other paintbrush, the bigger one. That's gonna be interesting. I don't know if it's still wet. Yep, it's still wet. It's gonna pick up some of that paint from the background. That's the downside of using golden open paints. The only downside is that if you want to make layers on top, and they're very prone to mixing in with the paint underneath. All right, some big bold trees. Let's make another one here. Vitamins they put in supplements. I see. Yeah, there's definitely mixed. It's a mixed bag with vitamins for sure. You don't know. I love the thinness of the branches. that this paintbrush can make. Even if it breaks every now and then, it's okay. I don't know. Okay, okay, Clara. I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better. Give these trees some nice sturdy feet here, and a burned sienna in black. Just give some nice banks here. Maybe a little bit of blue. Little bit of blue. now just cleaning that brush, getting some white paint and just adding some white here. And then let's do a nice snowy bank here. This is the first time that I'm using this easel. I'm already christening it. It's already got paint on it. I suppose that's what it's for. Okay, let's fill in this over here. Some darker blue and black. Let's get some right here under the bank. It can be a little bit darker. More blue and black. We're just gonna darken the bottom a little bit. And let's get some of the white. I've still got that dark color on my brush, so I want to make some shadows in the snow. So if you put the shadows, that's when you can see the bright snow. I'm just using the same brush. Let's grab some black and burnt sienna. Oh, I gotta stand up more straighter. black, burnt sienna, and blue. Let's add some extra bank here. Maybe there's something in the snow. There we go. Adding that bank here. Blue, black, and burnt sienna. Okay, cleaning the brush. And let's grab some white. Maybe let's add the tiniest little bit of raw sienna in the white to give it a little bit of sunshine. Let's see what that'll look like. Just a little tiny bit. Creating the impression that this is raised on top of something. Yeah, it definitely gives it a little bit of sunshine. Putting a little bit of the raw sienna in the white. I like it. Let's put it everywhere. And here. Trick is not to overdo it. Let's do one last tree here. Let's do a one big bold tree right from the edge here. Okay, burnt sienna, black. Maybe we put a little bit of blue in there. Maybe we'll put a little alizarin crimson in there too. Those dark colors. Dark colors. This will have to be the darkest tree. Actually, before we do that, let's just grab this super frayed brush. Let's see if it behaves after getting wet. It behaves. Getting a little bit of white and maybe warming it up with a little bit of that raw sienna. Let's put some snow on some of these branches. I'm trying to just get the horizontal ones and add that to some of the bigger ones. Maybe the smaller ones too. Just a little bit of snow. Maybe most of the snow fell off during some winds this morning. Who knows? Just kind of putting this on top. Just making sure to intersect with other branches, and that'll give us that depth, you know. Overlapping creates three-dimensionality. Ugh, that snow is just floating. We don't have to hit every single branch. Just kind of targeting some horizontal ones. Let's just do this on this side. It didn't seem too difficult. Time is at 12:23, so I've been working for about an hour and 15 minutes. I also mixed the paint. I will be offering the paint mixed to my students. So this will still be about an hour and a half probably of work for them. Well, this is a good place though. It's not bad. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's do the bigger tree. Always afraid of that overlapping thing, you know? Like, you don't want to mess it up. But here it is. Here's this big tree. Maybe I need more burnt sienna for it. Let's get some weak fingers. Weak hands. That should be enough. Okay, just mixing that burnt sienna with the dark concoction. We do want a little bit of color in the front. Want a little bit of color. Okay, and that's a wonky looking branch. maybe this is a different kind of tree that has the branches more horizontal than the other ones. The other ones are a lot more vertical. The main trick with making branches thin like this, because I know it's a challenge. I see it in my students. It's such a challenge to make thin lines. The trick is to get that paint really thin, so you have your flat brush, right? And then the trick is to really get most of the paint off, and you pull and pull and pull till you have a super sharp edge and you don't have a lot of leftover paint there. And then you load often and you still don't put a lot of paint on there. Always have just a little bit of paint. Sometimes I go from the outside in the trunk. Sometimes I go the opposite way. Just depends. I guess it depends how much paint I have on my brush. Okay. Tea time. Tea me. Another really good tip that I sometimes forget because I forget. When I paint trees, I forget to overlap, but it's so important to overlap your branches because that's what gives them depth. If you just put the branches one next to each other and then don't overlap, then they just look flat. It's like they're just plastered in a two-dimensional space. But the trick is to intersect them. Do not be afraid to go over. Trees have a lot of branches. Another thing that sometimes gets me when I paint branches is I don't thicken the bases enough. Sometimes I forget that as we go towards the main branch, they do get thicker. paint is starting to thicken up though, so I'll have to add more paint. Okay, let's add a little bit of highlight to these trees, just a little bit of highlight. Maybe I'll use a smaller paintbrush. Yeah, a smaller shader. Alright, let's make, I guess we're gonna grab the burnt sienna again. Burnt sienna. There's really magic and, you know, monochromatic, not monochromatic, but a simpler palette painting. All right, let me show you my mixing. Burnt sienna, raw sienna. Let's grab a little bit of white. Now this paint can be quite saturated because it's very likely to blend in. So I just want to attach a little bit, attach and maybe pull. Oh, maybe this is dry. I just want to give it a little bit of sparkle to this. Maybe to this one too. Just kind of like lines to create that bark effect. Alright, but most importantly this one. This one I'm just doing one stroke and then going backwards and softening a little bit. This is definitely mixing in with the background. So we're reloading, and then adding more. See how it adds depth to this tree. And it defines it better. It makes it stand apart from the ones in the background. Maybe you can add a little bit to the other branches where you think that light is shining on. And more vertical branches. There we go. Okay, Now let us add a little bit of snow to this tree. Just getting some white, loading my brush with white. Now we're just gonna give it maybe let's grab a little bit of that bluish. Let's make it slightly blue to start with. And just tapping some top of these branches. My brush is quite loaded. The tip is quite loaded with paint. And I want to give it a nice thick layer of snow on these branches. They don't all have to be covered, just some. Maybe the squirrels were fighting on some of these branches. They relieved it of the snow, or that big gust of wind this morning did a number on some of the snow here. The smaller branches maybe. So this is the bluish snow, and then we'll add a little bit of yellow snow on top. It's not really yellow snow. It's snow that is catching the sunlight. Unless those squirrels, you know, are naughty. Okay, wiping the brush and just maybe cleaning it. Just some white and the tiniest touch of the sienna, not a lot, just to make it off-white. And then loading the tip of the brush quite a lot, because I just want to leave this paint behind. And just putting that on top, not on top, above the bluish snow. Because I want the bluish snow to be the shadow, and I want this to be the top of the snow, the sunlight. This could be a wonderful gift to somebody, you know, somebody who needs some artwork in their house. You can paint this and give it to them, and they'll be happy to have a handmade gift. Or not, I don't know. Let's give this a little bit of sunlight. All right. One last thing. Just two things. Still have a little bit of time. Let's grab some blue, some black, some white. Blue, black, and white. And maybe just a touch of brown that we made there. What I want to do here is do some maybe some more bluish white. And I want a clean brush. Let's see if we have a clean brush. Just softening it up a little bit. Will it happen? Yeah. Just doing more black. It's a little too blue for my taste. Maybe you shouldn't be so blue there. Maybe some sienna. Trying to do the reverse here. More black is needed. Just do that. All right. Just adding a little bit of Alright, let's finish it up by getting some white paint. Maybe I'll use one of my fancy new knives. How's that? How's that? I'll just use one of these. Let me see if I can even use a knife. Just getting some white paint and cutting it. All right. Guess I can put it down. I think I'm done. Maybe I'll just soften this one here. It just doesn't have its place. There we go. Maybe I'll soften all of them, because why not? That instantly looks better. Okay. Peaceful lake. Peaceful lake, I think you are done. Okay, I'm done. Well, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you can give this a try. Pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. Pretty easy. So, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you maybe next time. Maybe next Friday, same time, same place. Bye-bye.